I'm going to tell you my journey from being a psychology degree graduate to working as a Black girl in technology. Hello and welcome back to Per My Last Email. So let's just get into it. I got a new job. Every day I wake up since I got my new role, I think to myself, how did I, a psychology degree grad from a small school in Louisiana, end up a six-figure earner at a Fortune 50 company working in technology? God did that. My main goal has always been to save a lot of money and make a lot of money. And so when I was choosing my school, I went to a low-cost school where my whole tuition was paid for. So I started off at Northwestern State University of Louisiana. I was in the Scholars College there and I got my degree in psychology. Now, the thing is, I didn't know what I wanted to do with psychology. I knew that I liked people and I knew that I liked working with people. But I didn't necessarily want to hear people's problems. I didn't want to be a therapist or a psychologist. And so I took a class in my psychology courses called Careers in Psychology. And one of the careers that I saw was an organizational psychologist, which is somebody who studies people at work. And I was like, okay, well, if I do that, then I don't have to be a therapist, but I could potentially work in corporate America, like work at a fancy company and wear like heels and stuff to work. Maybe that can work out for me. The thing is with psychology, you can't just do a career in psychology. You have to get so much more certifications and schooling. Like, from my understanding, if you got a bachelor's in psychology, it was almost a necessity to get a master's in psychology. And whatever other thing you want to do, a bachelor's in psychology is just not enough. I ended up going to a career fair before I graduated because I knew that I wanted to go to grad school, but I didn't want to pay for it. So I was looking at the different companies that were coming into my school's career fair, and I saw one of the larger companies did tuition reimbursement. And I was like, dang, if I go there, I can go to grad school and potentially get my school paid for. I'm trying to do that. So I went to the lady at the career fair. She was a Black woman, and I was with a friend of mine who was an engineering graduate, and we both walked up to the table and she asked us what both of our majors are. I said, I'm psychology. He said, I'm engineering. She literally shifted her body away from me and towards him and spoke directly towards him. It ignored me. I was like, dang, my psychology degree is trash. It's trash, it's trash. So I made my way around the career fair, trying to talk to other companies, trying to see who else did tuition reimbursement, because I did not want to pay for grad school, but I knew that I had to go. Ended up making my way back towards this woman at the end of the career fair, and I was like, look, I want to work for your company. And she was like, well, tell me more about you. I was like, well, I have a psychology degree, but I'm going to school for industrial psychology, so I could potentially work in HR. I am a graduating senior. I was telling her about this sorority event that I had just had. She was like, what sorority are you in? I was like, AKA. She said, oh, I'm a Delta. I was like, oh, girl, you know, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. We started talking about sorority stuff, and I think she liked me. And so she was like, well, I want you to interview for a position working for me, and we'll see where that goes. I ended up interviewing with her and getting on at the company working for her. She worked in the internship program at this technology company, a big technology company in Louisiana. And we ended up hitting it off. We had a great relationship. She's still somebody that I keep in contact with to this day, but I was an intern to the internship program manager at this technology company. So we did a whole bunch of stuff with internships. I did programming, I planned events, similar stuff that I did in college, planning events, coordinating events, working with people. It was work that I felt comfortable with. I loved her as a manager, and while I did my internship, I was going to school to do my degree in organizational psychology. Again, my goals were to save money and make money. So while I was going to grad school, I was working my internship, paying for grad school with my internship money. And I was working at the job in HR, and I was like, man, I really don't like HR. I want to make some more money, because since I was working in HR with interns, I was seeing how much the different interns got paid. We had finance interns, HR interns, legal interns, and you know who made the most money? All the engineers. Man, I was getting my whole master's. It's people that was juniors in college, about to be a senior, making more money than me in my internship. And I'm like, now wait a minute. You mean to tell me I should have been an engineer this whole time? But I didn't want to be an engineer. I just felt like I didn't have the personality to be an engineer. I'm not gonna go back to school to be an engineer, but they making the most money. I'm like, okay, I don't want to work over here anymore. I want to work in engineering. I don't have an engineering degree, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. It turns out that because I was working for the internship program manager, she also did a lot of early career programming. And they were rolling out a program for recent engineering grads to go through a rotational program to get different exposures to engineering at the company. And they were having trouble filling one last spot. So I was talking to my manager like, hey, I don't want to work in HR. I want to do something different. I kind of want to do something more technical. She was like, well, do you want to apply to be in this engineering rotational program? I was like, well, I'm not an engineer. How is that going to work? And she was like, well, all of them don't do technical engineering things. Some people do project management and program management, which is similar to what I do, just for more technical projects. And I was like, well, I guess I can do that. So I ended up applying for that job and getting a role in project management in the engineering group. I was working for the engineering project manager. And so in that job, it was really cool. I got to work with all the engineers. I got to get really technical. I was doing a lot of really technical projects and just learning about the technology that the company did. But I didn't have to know anything about technology. I just had to set up the meetings, take notes, and make sure that whatever action items people had to drive projects forward, I followed up with them to say, hey, did you do your project? Hey, did you send this email? Hey, did you do this contract? It's a lot of tedious things that go into technology, and sometimes people who get really technical miss the bigger picture. So I was responsible for making people have a bigger picture and driving things forward. But because I was working in project management, I was like, dang, I kind of need to do something to make me feel like I'm at least a little bit technical. That's when I got my project management professional certification, my PMP. I took that test and passed it. So now I'm official. Now I'm an official project manager. And I was like, okay, now we talking. I'm an official project manager in technology. I was looking on Indeed like, oh, I need to be getting paid more. So somebody needs to start paying me some more, because I got them letters behind my name. And so I told my manager at the time, my new manager, hey, I want to do more technical projects. I wanted to get more technical experience, because if y'all not finna pay, I got to dip. And I felt like it was time for me to move again. So I ended up reaching out to one of my contacts at the company, still at the same company, technology company, Fortune, maybe, they're in the Fortune 500 technology company. I reached out to a leader at the company that I had met with. We had coffee and lunch a few times. And I was like, hey, I'm looking to transition to a different role. Do you have any openings on your team? So because I have my PMP, I have my master's, I have experience doing project management, she hired me into a program management role. So I went from an intern to a project manager to a program manager. Today, I'm a senior program manager in technology. So I don't do anything technical. I don't code, I don't engineer, I don't do none of that. And I'm working in technology without working in technology. Does that make sense? So my advice to anybody looking to be a Black woman in tech is to start off doing any type of job at a technology company. I think that HR is maybe one of the easiest places to get introduced to technology, because HR, you can be a psychology grad, you can be a finance grad, HR encompasses so much. I think that just having an entry-level position at a technology company and meeting people, work in a room, meeting people in different organizations, different programs and portfolios, also getting certifications. I think that getting my PMP totally changed the trajectory, because I went from just a person who worked at technology to a professional. I had a niche, you know what I'm saying? I had a thing that I was good at, which was project management and program management. And so I think that once you get your foot in the door at a technology company, meet as many people as you can and start getting certifications, whether that be PMP, whether that be Scrum Master, whether that be Agile, whether that be Azure. It's so many certifications. Get inside the company, get certified in something, become an expert in something, and then once you get that, once you have professional experience at a big technology company, you can do whatever you want to do. It don't even have to be a big technology company. It just has to be a technology company. I feel like if you're going to work in corporate America, my opinion, if you're going to work in corporate America, the best place is to be in a technology company. The best place is to be somewhere that calls themselves a technology company. Because a lot of companies are not really technology companies, but they consider themselves a technology company to be at the front edge and to be known as innovative and whatever. I don't care what you are. If you technology, you think you're technology and you're gonna pay me, let's do it. Because technology companies pay more. Like these other companies, it's fine, they do good stuff. But if a company considers themselves a technology company, in order to compete with Google and Facebook and all these other companies, they have to have those competitive salaries. So technology pays more. And that's just the facts. I need to start looking at my next certification. What do I want to do next? What do I want to get certified in next? I don't know. I do kind of regret not getting an engineering degree because I think that I could have had a way faster trajectory. But again, I came from a psychology degree from a small unknown school to working at a Fortune 50 company in technology. So if you really want it to happen, you can make it happen. I believe in you. That's all I got. If y'all have any questions on how to be a black girl in technology, let me know.